Hello everybody at ACEC 2012. Hasn't it been an exciting conference? Today I'm going to bring to you some magical, authentic audience tasks that we've been sort of working on over my last couple of years. A big shout out to the Adobe team and the Wacom team that have been great today. So before we get going, I wanted to make sure that we say thank you to them and appreciate the work they've been doing for us and providing great products that we still all use. Alright, today we're going to be looking at a couple of things in relation to YouTube and how we make tasks and that for YouTube that make sense for kids as well. So if you have a look, I've got YouTube up on my screen. It's a great sort of platform that anybody can sort of collaborate on. We know how many YouTube videos are uploaded onto these things, how many weeks, or we know how much video is uploaded onto YouTube every minute. So what's the best audience in the world? Anybody that's going to view those pieces of content. The first thing I'm going to show you is what I've been doing in the past, which is working with Colby College as a director of IT and then head of IT. One of the things we did in AIT in 3A and 2A is that we were making music videos and doing promotions of school events. And if you have a look, we have a significant amount of videos up here, from awards night stuff to students' work. And more importantly, with the AIT subjects, we always made sure that their work had to be shown on YouTube so that there was actually a real audience that would comment back. Students were also given extra marks depending on how many views they got. So what that did was that made sure that they showed that to their friends, therefore created an audience, and the amount of views they did. And I'll let this play through a little bit with no sound, but they had to put this together and have views, and that and they got marked on how many views and how many extra credit points they did. What that resulted in was a better product being created, because they knew then that they were going to have real people watching it, which was great. And that extended to all manner of different sort of projects. So what ended up happening was that more students of their own started to create their own YouTube channels and YouTube clips, and then they started to share them out amongst themselves. And by us having a presence on YouTube resulted in them being friends of ours as the schools, and therefore we were also able to moderate and give them tips and feedback on all those sorts of things as well. What this ended up turning into as well was how-to guides and those sorts of different aspects that the kids started to put together. I'll show you now at John 23rd, we've started to create this environment as well. It's taken a bit of a different turn this time, and many of you would have seen a Nook running around who's one of our students who's created this video for teachers on a how-to guide. So taking the concepts of Colby, making videos for tasks in IoT, taking it to how-to guides for teachers on how to take a good photo on an iPad. Because if you don't actually tap the screen, nothing will actually happen. And so when teachers were trying to submit photos on their iPads for the yearbook, it was resulting in really bad quality images. If you have a look, we sort of brand these sorts of things so that it's important that kids have recognition. And then there's all different sorts of videos here, private and not private. Some of them are set so that they're unlisted because we didn't want those ones shown to the general public, but we want to be able to access them. So using the appropriate tools for the appropriate job and the appropriate settings on YouTube was an important step. Last but not least, students have full access to this site, and the Media Club at John 23rd is the people that run this. So, and this happens quite regularly. On a Wednesday, the notices are read out by the group, and they do slow-mos and daily slow-mos. During Language Week, they did quizzes, and that every day that were put together so that they were shown across the school in a multimedia format, instead of the pages and pages of stuff we get these days from our community about notices and morning notices and all that sort of stuff. What this has resulted in is that an audience that actually wants to hear the notices gets more information about the notices, and then targeted messages that we can create for these sorts of things. I think the students also get the sense that they're actually producing for a world audience, which means that the way they want to do it is a lot better. So they end up having more pride in their work. And so when we spend, we've got in here JTV, which is the news channel. Then we've got other ones called JTV in Real Life, JTC in Real Life, which is another publication. And then we've got interviews with our sports captains on sports days, and all number of sort of stuff. So what I'm saying is, utilising YouTube for authentic audiences is probably one of the best things that I've done in my time as teaching to make sure that students actually get pride in their work, feel like it's worth something, and can progress on to making better content because they get analysis from friends and others.